Hey, what is up guys? My name is Oleg, this is Bond. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel and like the content, hey, why not subscribe? In today's video, I'm going to do a full review of Pantor Nautilus. I was very excited to get this watch, and of course I did an unboxing. That video can be found on the channel. After spending about 3 weeks with the watch, I think I have a pretty good idea what this timepiece is all about. So let's get started. Pantor Nautilus. Let's start this review, as always, by looking at the basic dimensions. We have a diameter of 45 millimeters, excluding the crown, a lug-to-lug width of 46.5 millimeters, a lug width of 24 millimeters, and the thickness a hair under 13 millimeters. Looking at the numbers and the diameter of 45 millimeters, a lot of people would be kind of scared off of this watch because it appears to be very massive. However, I think the watch wears smaller than it actually is, partly due to the cushion style case. As you can see, that the bezel actually is much smaller than the case, and on the wrist it gives an appearance of a smaller watch, and partly due to the fact that the lug to lug distance is quite short, giving this case almost a square dimension, which again makes the watch appear smaller on the wrist. Of course, I'll do a wrist shot by the end of this video, but I think the watch wears smaller, maybe closer to 44, maybe even 43 millimeters. Let's take a closer look at the finishes and at the case. So we have an all stainless steel case. We have kind of a brushed finish on the top here, and it transitions to a polished finish on the side, and again brushed finish at the case back and at the back of the lugs. So the finishes are pretty good. They're not outstanding. They're not the kind of finishes that you would see in a, let's say, a $500 plus watch. For $230, $220, perfectly fine. We also have this unidirectional 120 click bezel. The bezel action is fantastic. It's very solid, very clicky. Just listen to it. The resistance on the bezel is perfect. It's just the right amount of resistance, and the grip is also very good. So it's fairly easy to grip and to turn. I also like the font and the size of Arabic numerals on this bezel. We have these minute markings up to 15 minutes, and then it's just every 5 minutes marked off. The lume pip is done really well. It's not protruding, so it's kind of inside of the bezel. Yeah, it looks really cool. We also have this dead flat sapphire crystal with some AR coating. At the 3 o'clock position there is the crown. It's signed with the little Nautilus. Also the case back is screwed down, and it also has that Nautilus laser etched in. It says Pantor Nautilus, what does it say, sapphire crystal, 200 meters, that kind of things. Stainless steel. So the rubber strap is really good. I generally prefer watches on bracelets, stainless steel bracelets, as you can see here, but I think that this rubber strap fits the watch really well. It's soft, it's comfortable. I wore it to the gym, I wore it on a hike, I wore it to a swimming pool, to play tennis. It performed really well, and I think on the rubber strap is just more comfortable because it has a little bit of flex to it. So as your wrist expands and contracts, the watch stays very comfortable on your wrist. Look how big this stank buckle is. It's signed with the Pantor logo, of course, has the brushed finish to it. Just for a comparison, because I know it's hard to tell on a video the size of things, look how massive it is as comparing to the Phoebus. That's the Phoebus Eagle Ray. I did a review of this watch a few weeks ago. We're not comparing the watches, but just look at the difference in size for the buckle. So that's just how massive everything is on this watch. It's kind of oversized, it's over exaggerated, and it works well for this watch, for this design, in my opinion. Taking a closer look at the dial, it's just a printed dial, so nothing is applied. We have lots of lume. Let me pop a lume shot on the screen right now. Yeah, a lot of lume. It's very legible, fantastic for a diver watch. There's the date window between the 5 and the 4 o'clock position. A little lollipop on the seconds hand. Not a lot of writing, just Pantor by the 12 o'clock position. 200 meters or 660 feet and automatic. That's about it. So the watch is powered by the Seiko NH35 movement. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this movement. It's kind of new, not a lot of watches have it. 24 joules, 41 hours of power reserve, beats at 21,600 beats per hour. This watch here is very accurate. It's within 10 seconds per day. I'm very happy about that, especially for an introductory automatic movement, for an introductory automatic watch. So let's talk about some of the negatives on the watch. There aren't too many, if we're being honest. I guess my first negative, and it's not really a negative, it's more of a business strategy from the Pantor watches, is the fact that when I got this watch, it was priced at $200 US. When I did the unboxing and uploaded the video, because of course it took a few days, or actually up to a week, for it to arrive. By the time I did the unboxing and uploaded the video, the watch was priced at $220 US, and now checking Amazon as of recording of this video is $230 US. I understand supply and demand. The more demand there is for a watch like this, the higher the price will go, but I wish the price would stay the same because it would be better for us as consumers. Second negative is a very small, I guess, QC issue. The fact that the indices don't really match the hands in terms of the color. It's hard to tell on the video, and in person it's also not that easy to tell. You have to really look for it as if you're reviewing a watch to catch it. But there is a slight discoloration. The hands appear to be more white than the indices. Not a huge deal again, but something that I noticed. And the biggest negative, I guess, for a lot of you guys will be the fact that this watch bears a very strong resemblance to another watch, the Seiko Turtle. Let me pop a picture on the screen right now. As you can see, the two watches share a lot of similarities. The bezels are different, the dials are different, they have different movements. The crown is in a different position. Actually, when I did the unboxing of this watch, some people mentioned that the crown might be digging into your wrist. They would prefer to be at the 4 o'clock position. To be honest, I didn't have that experience with this watch. The crown was very comfortable, so that's not a negative for me. But the resemblance of this watch to a Seiko Turtle might be a negative for a lot of people. However, this watch here does have advantages over the Seiko. Number one is that sapphire crystal, and number two is the fact that it's something different. It's not just another Seiko that you're wearing on your wrist, it's a Pantor, which sparks up a lot of conversations. To be honest with you, I had two separate people ask me if this was a Seiko Turtle, and I told them no, it's a Pantor Nautilus, and that sparked a conversation. They're like, oh wait, it looks a lot like a Seiko, and then you go into the whole thing about this being a different design, a new company, all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of interesting. So I can see a lot of people going for the Nautilus because A, it's cheaper, B, arguably has better specs, although I don't know, NH35 versus 4R movement, some people might say the 4R movement is a little better, but anyways, it still has better specs with that sapphire crystal, especially being a tough, robust watch. You want that sapphire crystal, and yeah, it's just something a little different. So I think that's going to be the biggest negative to this watch / biggest positive of this watch, is that resemblance to the Seiko Turtle. Finally, here's what the watch looks like on my 7¼ inch wrist. As you can see, it fits comfortably. It doesn't look like a super oversized watch. It doesn't look ridiculous on the wrist. It just looks like a tough watch, and I actually really like wearing this watch when I work out. It just feels tough. It feels like it makes me feel tougher, if that makes sense. One last negative that I will mention, maybe not really a negative, but something that you have to watch out for. So I have a 7¼ inch wrist, and I'm wearing the buckle on the second position. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. So if you have a wrist of, let's say, under 7 inches, the rubber strap probably will not fit your wrist, as it doesn't have any more holes unless you make your own holes or put it on a different rubber strap. Alright guys, so that was the full review for this watch right here, the Pantor Nautilus. I really do like it. I mentioned some of the negatives, but no watch is perfect. Every watch has some negatives. I think the watch will stay in my collection for the time being. I really enjoy wearing it. I really enjoy doing activities in it, and it feels just really tough. It's oversized, it's over-exaggerated, and something that I enjoy about this watch. I don't have too many kind of massive, over-exaggerated macho watches, so this one here kind of feels that need, and I really like it. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this Pantor Nautilus and about the Pantor line of watches in general. Are there any other Pantor watches that you'd like me to review? Leave all those thoughts in the comment section. I always enjoy reading your comments. By the way, today on my wrist I'm wearing my Omega Seamaster. Absolutely love this watch. I owned it for over a year and a half now. Just never did a review, so that's long overdue. Also, in the description of this video, there is a secret link. If you don't know what a secret link is, it's basically me finding interesting watches, cool deals on watches, accessories, etc., and leaving them in the description without having to make a separate video about each one of the finds. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.